This year we'll probably close out 175 transactions at about 62 to 65 million. I still think that we're still catching up from when the market crashed in 2008, where builders stopped building.
Learning from people who have done it, just cut down your learning curve. And a good coach is not an expense, it's an investment.
100%. I've been taught to say it's always an amazing market, right?
Yeah.
There's always opportunity.
Welcome everybody. I'm excited for today's episode of Agent to Investor Mastery. We have a special guest, somebody who I've never actually personally connected with. So I'm excited because it's the first time I get to hear a little bit about him and his story, but I've been following him on social media, seeing him and his team do amazing things. So today our guest is Sharif. Sharif is a team leader with Berkshire Hathaway out of the Robbinsville office. His business runs a huge team, and he's also an investor. So he was kind enough to take time out of his busy schedule to join us to talk a little bit about his business and his journey. So Sharif, welcome, man.
Thanks, man. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, so let's start off. Tell us a little bit about your story. What did you do before real estate? How did you get into real estate? Walk us through it.
So before real estate, I owned my own IT and marketing business. So I'm a techie. I was the guy in the back room on the computer, trying to figure out the problems and trying to get everything going right. So that evolved into me having a third job, and that's what real estate was for me. It was my third job, my third income. This dates back to like 2007 when I first got licensed. So I was running, 3 jobs for a while up until COVID, when, my real estate business just took off.
Okay.
And that's really when the start of our team happened as well. And that's when we got really into coaching. I got coached at the time, and my coach at the time would tell me, real estate investing is key.
Okay.
Unlike other jobs, it's not like we have a 401k or a SEP set up unless you're savvy on a financial side and thinking about your retirement.
Right.
So that's why we dabble in it.
Nice. So tell us a little bit about your team today.
Okay.
What does it look like?
We have approximately 25 agents.
Okay.
Today, we are pretty well rooted in the Mercer County area, but we do support all of New Jersey and also Bucks County. We have 2 in-house admins, one of them being my wife, who is our director of operations. She runs that side of the business. We have about 4 ISAs, inside sales agents, 2 transaction coordinators. We have a VA that does marketing for us, another VA that does website stuff for us as well. So that's the actual structure of personnel.
Okay. So having 25 team members, what are you doing to enroll new agents onto the team?
Always recruiting.
Yeah.
Recruiting's the lifeline, right? That's what I was taught. So we're always out there doing masterminds. I like to run a mastermind every other month to get community involvement. Closer? Okay. So we basically, we like to keep top of mind with the agents in the community. So besides that, we run ads, obviously on, Indeed and other job platforms. But we're just out there just pumping out content on social media, and that's probably one of our best lead sources for recruits.
Okay. So your team and your business has massive growth over the last 5 years.
Yeah, I mean, the fact is in 2020, we didn't have a team, right? 2021's when we kind of started the team. I started getting coaching. I had lost my largest client on the IT world, which is where my wife also worked, so she also lost her job. It was complications because that client, his son and I were partners on the marketing side.
Got it.
So it was a big shift for us at the time. And yeah, we went from basically myself and one other agent to 25 agents today.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's amazing. It's not easy.
Not easy at all, Carl.
And tell me a little bit about your investing. How did you get into investing? Sort of what does your portfolio look like on that side?
So we only have about 6 doors right now that we've held on to.
Okay.
But we try to flip a few properties a year. It adds to our income. And really, the fact is, every time I walk into a listing, I look at it as an opportunity to purchase that property first. Of course, if the seller is not up to it, right, we definitely want to list the property for them. But our key, goal is to get them the most for their property, in the easiest scenario that they can have, right? And some of the time, I walk into a listing appointment, I'll shoot the numbers out of what their market value is and, what their actual cash offer, value would be. And some people will take that cash offer, even if it is 70% lower than the actual market value.
Right.
So we do try to pick up, a couple a year. My problem is I just can't find as many opportunities as I would like to, right?
Yeah.
Even though I probably enter at least 350 to 400 homes a year, we only end up getting about 1% of those as flips or investment properties directly. Otherwise, we're just opening up the opportunity for our investors themselves.
Well, what I love about that too is right now, one of the biggest words in the real estate industry is options, consumer options. So not everybody is worried about getting top dollar. Some people will pay for the convenience of a cash offer, not have to show their house. And it's not our job to decide what's the best option for them. Our job is to give them the options, and they're adults and they're making a decision that works best for them and their family.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I love that. And that's why I'm passionate about real estate investing for agents, because we have so many opportunities that the regular investor does not have.
Yep.
And the tax code is written right now for real estate professionals to take massive advantages of buying real estate. So talks about your portfolio of personal properties. How did you buy? Because I get all these times, there's no deals out there.
Right.
I hear that all the time. How have you picked up some of your rentals?
Yeah, I mean, really, it's a lot of cash offer situations.
Okay.
We invest heavily in cash offer leads. So I just walk into, a listing appointment per se, as I'm meeting with the seller. And one of my first questions is, where are you going? One of my second questions is, well, what's more important to you? The amount of money you make on this property or the time it takes you to sell it?
Right.
So that's one of the key questions that I always ask, right? And that'll actually direct what the rest of the conversation is at that point. So that's really, a lot of those opportunities are just, we're paying for leads. Other ones are, at our masterminds, I make it well known to the agents that actually join, about 50 or 60 on average join us every time. And I let them know, hey, look, guys, anyone out there, if you're struggling, with a listing, we buy houses directly. If you have a property that you can't list or you feel like it's not up to par, we buy houses directly. So I like to make that known because I found that real estate agents are a great lead source for homes that they just can't sell, right?
100%.
And those are what we want, the homes that can't sell. So either we can, renovate them and rent them out or renovate them and flip them.
No, I love that. You got to be putting it out to the people.
Got to be putting it
Right.
out. How do people know unless you put it out there?
Yeah, or spending the money on the lead generation to be able to get those leads, because another advantage we have as realtors is if you're buying leads to try to fix a house, you could also get listings out of it.
Yeah.
So you could 10x your return than just someone else buying those leads to try to get fix and flips.
Yeah, and I can tell you that we're more successful in listing those properties
Right.
than we are trying to purchase them, only because most of the sellers that we encounter, they want the highest amount of money, right? So, I on average list about 80 to 85 homes a year. So it does funnel into our business. So we capitalize on it no matter what. But going back to the options, we like to give 5 options when we talk to a seller, right? We have your traditional listing. We can help them with their own fix and flip, right? They can flip their own property by using companies like Curbio or Restore to help with the actual repairs. We offer a bridge loan, right? So that's just through our lenders' ability to purchase a property without selling their property. And then also we have our purchase and rent back in case they wanted to use an occupancy just to stay there for a couple of months after we bought it for them. And then our cash offer.
Okay.
So we do go in with 5 options,
I love
just
that.
letting them know
Right.
that, hey, it's not always about traditional listing, right? It depends on what works for you, and we cater every scenario to our clients.
I love that because you hear 3 options a lot.
Yeah.
So the 5 options is great.
Yeah.
And it also, I think it just elevates your value to that seller, that you're not going in there just maybe as it differentiates you from other agents who are just going in about listing the house.
Most agents do that. That's all they focus on is listing the house, and we're problem solvers. We're providing solutions, right? And not for everyone, it's not going to be the same solution over and over again. Especially a listing might not work for everybody.
100%.
And I get beat up all the time by other agents saying, well, off market, the seller will make more on the market. Yes, I understand that, and that's great. Everyone knows that. but sometimes that's not the scenario that works best for them.
100%. And I share the story. When I was moving from my house to our new house, we were doing a lot of renovations to the new house. I sold our house off market to friends of ours, and I took less money. I knew I'd put more, but number one is I didn't really want my house on the market because we do a lot of business in that area. And for me, it was more important, hey, in the long run, this $20,000, $30,000 that I maybe sacrificed, in the long run, it's going to be worth more because my family's going to be settled. And that meant a lot to me. So it's not always about top dollar.
It's not.
And if you go in there thinking that, you're actually doing yourself a disservice.
Yeah, you're doing yourself a disservice and the person in front of you. That's the thing. The people that you talk to, you're doing a disservice to them by not providing every option that they can actually, capitalize on.
So I gotta ask this question now that I know a little bit about your IT background and everything. What sort of tech AI are you using to help leverage in your business on the investing side and the agent side?
I mean, the fact is, I love chat, right?
Yeah.
I feel like you can do as much as you need to do within chat if you have the correct prompts. I feel like all the other softwares for AI, they're great too if you want to specialize on it. I mean, I take a lot of information out of chat, I'll throw it into Gamma and make a full-blown presentation out of it, or actual pamphlet to hand to people.
Right.
So we do a lot of that. I mean, but AI is built into everything now, right? Like, you don't even know you're using it, and you're using it. I mean, I can tell you one of my favorite things to use is Jasper, which is another AI software. And what I love about it is that it's a plugin. So I can actually select anything that I wrote, click on, analyze, and it'll give me a basic AI summary or an AI rewording of what I just wrote, which I suck at writing. So it works the best for me. So that is probably something I use the most. Diving into market analysis. I try to do market analysis now through AI. I use chat predominantly for that as well. We started diving into Banana Pro, which is through Gemini to create YouTube thumbnails. But yeah, I mean, I'm a techie. So if I can find a way to use AI in something, I do. I mean, the basic stuff like writing descriptions for listings, we have our admin staff doing that now, and it makes it a lot easier for them, right? So we try to use it in every scenario at all. A lot of analyzing data has been a lot easier now by using AI to analyze it and almost replacing sending it out to an expert to analyze it for us.
Right.
So that is a lot of what we're doing too.
And you touched on something there, data. So in our different businesses, we leverage data enormously.
Yeah.
Whether it's in our investment business, whatever it is, we try to follow the data.
Yeah.
How are you using data to grow your business?
I mean, just starting every morning, we have accountability meetings. We have morning huddles with our team. We're analyzing KPIs, right? Key performance indicators about our team, which comes down to emails sent, text messages sent, phone calls made, connections over 2 minutes, and appointments booked. That's just basic. That's what we're doing every day to analyze data. Now, I'm a numbers geek, right? I sit in the back and I just look at numbers all day. So I'm always looking at where we're at, financially, where we're at production-wise, how many units we've closed out for the year. I'm always keeping on track of that. I mean, I don't know how people can analyze anything without the data, right? Even going to the consumer, right? When I speak to my sellers, I'm pulling up showing time, looking at all the previous showing for a property to talk to them about what the feedback was. We're doing market analysis reports right through showing time again to see how many people are actually shopping in every price range so we can correctly speak to our customers. So data's huge. Without the numbers, how are you making educated decisions? And that's really the key. So we do it throughout every venture, every aspect of our business, we're looking at numbers.
No, it's so true. And I talk about it a lot with agents now, and agents that I coach and help out is, you kind of have to start with, what's good with data is if you could start at the end and work your way backwards with it. I always say, who's in this market, who's been your ideal seller? It's the person that's selling, they're downsizing, they're not really worried about interest rates, they're either going out of state, going to a 55 and over, where they're going to be buying in cash. And there's data out there for people who have been in their house for 20 years and have 90% equity in their house. So instead of going wide and thinking you're saving money by doing every door direct mail. Like, why don't you mail to people who are specifically moving in this area?
Yeah,
And it just increases your chances.
definitely.
And the more, and even same thing with investing in real estate. If you're marketing to somebody who just bought their house, they're probably not the ideal person. But if you're marketing to the estates, you're marketing to the absentee owners, even if you're marketing to the same list of been in their house for 20 years, and they might need repairs and not want to put the house on the market, is you have to know who your avatar is, and then all your marketing has to centralize that avatar.
So true. I'm glad you brought that up, Carl, actually, because a lot of people don't do that. They're just haphazardly just doing things online, even social media. We have identified who our avatars are, and we talk directly to them. Every content piece goes for that avatar. So I think it's crucial just to understand that part of it. And really what it comes down to is just being aware, being aware of what you're looking for and how to attract that. So looking at the data is crucial for that. And it's something that we do every day.
So with your massive growth over the last 5-6 years, who have been some of the people that have been influential in that growth?
Yeah, I mean, I coached initially with Club Wealth, Michael Hellickson, his organization. A few coaches within that organization that have helped me, like Andy Kantz, Nicole Godet, Kyle Robinson as well. They're all like ballers across the country. Nice. And then most recently, just the Chet Black world. Being able to talk to Chet and his coaches has definitely increased our business significantly recently as well.
Right, it's great. I always say, learning from people who have done it, just cut down your learning curve. And a good coach is not an expense; it's an investment
100%,
with a profit.
100%, and that's why we've had such massive growth in a short amount of time. Is because I paid thousands of dollars every month to have someone that did more than me tell me what the next steps were. Right, so I went to people that actually did more than I did, and got advice from them on what to do next. Right. And that's really how we grew so quickly.
Well, I love that. So I've invested in a lot of coaches. I still do. And, you have different coaches for different periods of your business and your life. And getting that right coach is just adding gas to the fire.
It is. It's like a catalyst for your business.
100%. So where do you see your team, your real estate investing business go over the next 3 years?
I'd like to get more into investing. I enjoy it a lot, right? I enjoy flipping properties. I enjoy, purchasing them and renting them out. That's one of the things that I have been focusing on most recently. But in the next, 3 to 5 years, I would say that I see myself getting out of production from listing homes, because that's mostly what I do now is work with sellers, not really buyers anymore. Right. And then just kind of mentoring the team. I enjoy that more than anything. I get more pleasure now out of watching someone be successful rather than doing the successful stuff myself. Right. I've already proven to myself that I can do it, but to watch someone else go through it, now that's where I find true pleasure, because now I am providing the knowledge for someone else to take the same steps that I have taken.
No, I love that.
Yeah.
What books have influenced your mindset? Because you sound like you're well read.
Yeah, I mean, I love a few books that, Traction is one of the best ones I've read. 7 Levels of Communication is one of my favorite books to read. The Go-Giver, I like great that book. One. It's a great book. Actually, Mike Majenka from Absolute Mortgage gave me a signed copy of that book most recently.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it was a really cool thing that he actually gave me. So definitely appreciated that. But those are like, the core books that I mean, we're reading now everything, exactly what to say for real estate agents, which is, I think Jimmy Mackin is one of the authors of that book. We do a book club for the team. So every Friday during our morning huddle, we review chapters in a book together.
That's great.
So yeah, that's the current book that we have right now.
I'm reading a good book right now. It's Oz Perlman, The Mentalist.
Okay.
And a lot of people are surprised when I tell them this, but it's about how to read people. To me, it's actually one of the best ultimate sales training books there is, because it's all about how to read people, when to pour in, when not. And half of sales, especially at a listing appointment, is you have to be able to read the situation. Yeah. You have to know who to talk to, what terms, especially if it's a divorce situation or something like that. So it's a good one to really read. And if you're listening to this, Traction, We use it's a system called the EOS.
Yes, yeah.
We follow EOS in all of our businesses. Sometimes painfully, we follow EOS, but it is a great way if you want to really scale and grow and do it in a good way. I think EOS is like a perfect system for that. So definitely Traction's an awesome book.
It is.
So I just want to switch back a little gears because I always like to give people like real things they can implement in their business. So you talked about how you found the deals, you get a lot of with the leads and whatnot. How are you financing the deals? Because that's the second thing most people say to me is like, well, I don't know how to finance the deal.
Yeah.
How are you financing the deals? Traditionally or however else?
I mean, personally, we're doing a lot of cash. We do have a lot of cash on hand.
Okay.
So we are, investing our own funds into it. I've used CMA accounts off of my stocks.
Okay.
So using my stocks as the actual collateral.
Right.
Yep, I've used that and gotten loans that way. And really just going to our personal network and offering between 10 to 12% on, the short-term money loan that we're getting from our personal network. We haven't had to dive into hard money loans or any type of, financial institutions to provide us the funding because we've had it all locally so far. I've been told by my coaches as well, tackle, community banks. Community banks like to give money to local investors as well,
right?
As long as you have some type of track history.
No, it's so true. I was talking to someone, we're doing a commercial loan with a small community bank, and it's a decent sized loan. And I said, this loan has actually been easier than a loan that's had one less zero at the end of it with some of the bigger banks. Mm-hmm. So much of it comes down to relationships. Right? Yeah. You build a good relationship with the lender, with a good community bank, capital gets easier to get, and it's learning the velocity of money. Like you said, brokerage account, you could do margins. Some people leverage their whole life insurance policies and the cash value. Mm-hmm. So educating yourself about the velocity of money and how to finance deals allows you to grow and scale. Because we were the same way in the beginning. A lot of it was just personal funds. Right. Then we started more into hard money and all this other things to be able to grow and scale. So if an agent's listening to this and they want to get into investing, what advice do you have for them?
I would go out there and get on social media and start telling people that you're looking for investments. I would join all the groups that for off market. I would start making friends with wholesalers. Everyone, turns their back to wholesalers, but I think they're a great lead source on finding investments.
If someone doesn't know what a wholesaler is, what exactly is a wholesaler?
It's basically someone who it could be an agent or most likely not an agent. Right. They lock up a property at a certain contract price, and then they advertise it at a higher price, making a profit on it, right? And a lot of those opportunities are going to be off market. So you're going to make yourself friends with these, wholesalers just so they can bring you those opportunities because you know that everybody's going to make some type of money along the way. But now you're paying someone to find you those opportunities. Right. So it makes it a lot easier.
And that's a great way, too, for someone just starting out who might not have the capital to do the marketing and everything else. And again, like you said, it all comes to relationships. There was a wholesaler that we bought a couple properties off of. He's a bigger wholesaler in New Jersey. We ended up in the same mastermind together, and we ended up becoming friends. And we always wanted to say, how do we get in better with that wholesaler to get the deals? Now that we're friends, it's a lot easier, right?
Of course.
That relationship just changes everything.
But that's the whole thing. I love that you said that, Carl. This is a relationship business.
100%.
Right? Everyone thinks that we sell homes, but in reality, you're not. You're actually building relationships and you're connecting people to the right people, right? That we're connectors. That's something I learned from 7 levels of communication, right? Is I always tell everybody on our team as well is don't think of yourself as a real estate agent. You're a connector. Right? That's what we're doing is building relationships, and the relationships will bring the business. So once you get into that mindset, then the business starts to flow because all you're doing is really trying to set yourself up with people to get to know them better.
Right.
That's it. Just get to know people better, the business comes in.
So I know you're doing a lot of transactions. What percentage of your transactions is past clients, referrals, sphere of influence?
Great question. And people are always surprised on this. It's something that we've built our business on initially. About 55% of our business today is still sphere, past clients and referrals. And just to put some numbers to it, this year we'll probably close out 175 transactions at about 62 to 65 million.
That's beast.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
And I love that because so many agents ignore their past clients and referrals when if I sit down with them and break down their business, a majority of their business is coming from there. So they say, okay, you're spending all this time on doing cold calls, calling expires, calling FISBOs. You're spending all this money on leads, and you're getting the same amount of business from your past clients and referrals, and you're not spending any time or any money on it.
It's
so what if
crazy.
we built a system to grow that?
Yeah.
And then you have these other two, and that's how your business will
Yep.
grow.
So we do. We work on our past clients in Sphere. We have email automations, just like not even something that's going to inundate them, like a quarterly email that goes out to our Sphere, and past clients. We also do client appreciation events every quarter. We just did one last month. We had a holiday pie giveaway.
Okay.
Everybody came by and picked up pies. And really, we try to just stay top of mind, right? I'm going to tell you, I just signed a listing. It was either yesterday or the day before that. And I know the person that actually sold the client the house, right? So she asked me, she's like, well, what do I do about this agent when they find out that you listed the property? You tell them, why didn't you keep in touch with me?
Yeah.
A lot of my business is like that. Is going to be they worked with another agent in the area, but they chose us and they stick with us because we're top of mind and we actually stay top of mind. Where a lot of agents, their clients forget their name after a transaction, which I find crazy in itself.
Yeah, we see that all the time. We see agents that are they had the listing, someone bought the house, and when they go to sell it, they call back that agent because they were impressed with what they did. And there's a lot of people who have a lot of marketing strategies around those clients as well.
Definitely.
And it's definitely a big source of business.
It is, but it's so easy for you to stay top of mind with your own clients and at least protect your actual, database of people by just being top of mind and doing something quarterly for them, right?
So let me ask you, what do you think of the market over the next 12 months? Because I know I get this question a lot, being a real estate broker. What do you think we're going to see over the next 12 months?
I've been taught to say it's always an amazing market, right?
Yeah.
It's always going to be an amazing market. There's always opportunity.
Agreed.
So I think there's going to be a bunch of opportunity for those that are still in the business. We've seen, a lot of agents leave the business within the past year, which opens up a lot of opportunity for everyone who's crushing it right now. So I think we're going to see rates come down a little bit. I think we're going to still see a little bit more of an uptick of inventory, but I don't think prices are going to come down anytime soon. I still think that we're still catching up from when the market crashed in 2008, where builders stopped building, right? So we still have that low inventory in the majority of areas, at least in New Jersey. That's what I can tell you.
No, I agree. And I think if we see some of the 50-year mortgages and some of the stuff that's being proposed, that's all going to be there to help prices continue to increase and make things more affordable, which is already happening in Europe and other parts of the world. Right now, it's illegal under Dodd-Frank, but anything could be changed. So I wouldn't be surprised to see that come over in the next year too, to keep prices up.
I've heard that the 50-year mortgage is going to be like a millennial mover, right?
Yeah.
That's the age bracket that's probably going to capitalize on that the most. And I don't see it as being like a horrible solution to get into the house, but I really think, for the long-term, financial status of yourself, you probably want to look at a refi so that you're actually buying down the equity a little bit more than at a 50-year. So I think it's good for an entry level.
No, I agree 100%. So let me ask you, what advice would you give Sharif 10 years ago?
Get coaching.
Love
Get
that.
coaching as soon as possible. Find a mentor, find someone that's going to actually guide you in the right direction so that you don't have to keep screwing up and retrying. That's what I would tell myself 10 years ago.
Yeah, there's ways you could pay somebody to help you see what you don't see.
Yeah, definitely.
I was saying this the other day. I had a coach, and I was like, I got this idea of what I'm going to do. And we were on Zoom, and he looked at me and he goes, well, that's the dumbest idea I ever heard. I was like, well, I thought it was pretty good, so all right, tell me why. And he broke it down, and he's like, I've been down this path. This is what I see. And he was 100% correct,
Right.
And sometimes you need to hear that, where people are where you want to go.
Yeah, and you need someone from the outside looking in. Sometimes we get so caught up with what we're doing, we're not really paying attention to the positives and negatives of it.
Yeah, I love that. Well, listen, thank you. It was great to hear your story. It's been amazing to see where you're going, and I'm sure in the next 3 years, you're only just going to double what you're doing now. If someone's listening to this and they're looking for a team or go on a team, how can people connect with you?
You can find us at sharifsells.com. Basically, through our website, that's probably the easiest way to connect with us. Or just search, social media for me and just reach out. Sharif Hathaway, any social media platform, and you'll find me.
Great. Well, thanks again, man. Like I said, I really loved hearing your story, and we'll talk to everyone soon.